Welcome everybody. We are in session 2 of our class, and on your screens you are seeing the schedule of your classes. That is the recording of the first session, guys. Here is where it is. And there's going to be another one like that for session number 2 in a couple of hours after we finish our session. That is just to let you know. In session number 2, we asked you to watch the pre-recorded webinar where we talk about graphic user interface. And just one more time, I want to tell you why graphic user interface is important to know. So first of all, it gives you terminology. It gives you exactly the names for controls. So when you write bug report, you call things, exactly the way they are called. So menu is a menu title is menu title, menu bar is menu bar, menu item is menu item. So you use exact terminology, which makes your bug report professional grade bug report. Number one. Number two, it gives you very substantial credit when you start working in the company, and for a couple of weeks nobody expects much because you are supposed to learn the application and it takes certain time. Meanwhile, since you know how application should look like, you don't know how it works yet, but you know how it should look like, and then you report lots of graphic user interface issues. You will surprise everybody. I mean, someone who just comes and knows nothing about the application yet, write like 10, 15, 20 bug reports a day, guys, you will be remembered. So it helps you to keep the job. I'm not saying it helps you much to get the job, but it definitely helps you to keep the job. And especially it gives you some credit when you just start. I'm not saying, guys, you need that credit, but you know what? It's good to have one rather than not having one. And so we will come back to that. My primary focus today is on the survey which you did here, the SQA Basics number 2, the survey which you did after you repeated the interview questions and answers. So now we are supposed to be stronger in answering the typical interview questions, which we have right here. Let me see how many people took part in that. Last time it was 49, which is much more than 30. Okay, we have 36 now, but still 49 is more than 36. Okay, so let's see what's happening there, and I will, as we might need more, so I will bring more resources to the discussion. So, question number 1. So, graphic user interface standards and guidelines are established by who? Exactly. So, Microsoft, we say Microsoft, and then 50% of you support Microsoft. But, guys, Microsoft does create standards. So Microsoft is not like US government, but they are publishing Windows operating system. So anytime it comes to the Windows operating systems, you are using their guidelines. And here it is on your resources section. It says GUI standards for, there is a standard for Windows 7 and Vista, and there is a standard for XP and 2000. And it is on Microsoft website. You go there and you download the guidelines. My suggestion to you is download it no matter what, because you don't know how long that page is going to be available. It is something very valuable for your future kind of career. It's a very important resource. So my suggestion is go there and download both. But the question was who establishes standards? Microsoft does establish standards for Windows applications, no doubt about it. It should be 100%. Then US government. So somehow we have 64% supporting the idea of US government. But so if you go back here, and there is a website here. So it's a government website. If you go there, it's usability.gov. They recently changed the graphic user interface. So it's not that easy now to find the standard, but it is there. It is there. So guys, it's a challenge. Spend 5 minutes and find that book. Okay, if you don't find it, I will show you. Not right now. So right now you just listen to me. And guys, one more thing. When it comes to the Skype window, please do not write anything here unless it is a question to me, okay? No communication between you when we teach the class, because someone might have a question. So it is US government if we are talking about web applications. You have to understand the idea of government in US. So founding fathers, they said whatever important thing public cannot take care of by itself, government should step in and do it. And that is why we have government post office, because at some point they said everybody is entitled to sending and receiving letters, and they didn't have private postal services to do that. That is why we have public schools, because they said every child in the country is entitled to go to school. They created public schools because private schools couldn't handle that. So when it comes to Microsoft and Windows, so government has nothing to do with Microsoft. Microsoft creates the standard. But when it comes to web, there is no company, specific company, which takes care of web. And then government says, okay, if there is no private party, so then we have to step in and then we have to say what it is. And so definitely it is 100% there. Industry best practices. Industry best practices. So now what happens? Let's say we have a standard or guidelines published 3 years ago or 5 years ago or even 1 year ago. Within 1 year, the industry changes. Something which used to be nice to have now becomes must. Why? Because everybody has it. For example, if we look at the page we asked you to look at, the GUI test assignment. Yes, that one. Let me open it in a new tab. So that is the Tolle. Tolle is a company, and they give that page to candidates to see how many bugs they find. Look at that page. It says from amount. Look at that. It says from amount. In today's world, they would provide you with $sign or let's say dollars and cents. They will somehow indicate in which currency that amount or in which format that amount should be provided. Let's say they're saying invoice date. In today's world, when they do invoice date, they will tell you month, let's like MM, YY, or YY, MM. They will give you format, because what happened really on that page, they have here one format, and in the search results, they have completely different format. Can you see it? So that is why. And so at some point, some companies started to implement that hint, that suggestion on detail. And in today's world, everybody has it. So at some point, it was nice to have. And in today's world, it is must. So you should actually write a bug report here saying, hey, where is it? So coming back to the industry best practices, so we are saying, yes, industry best practices are one of the resources for making decisions on graphic user interface. And when you write a bug report, the question is how you justify the request for change, how you justify it's a problem here. Well, either you point to the Microsoft guidelines or you point to usability.gov guidelines for web applications, or you say, listen, Google does it this way, or Microsoft does it this way, or whichever company your company wants to follow. And when we are saying policies of your employer here, that is what it means. When you start working, just ask your manager, say, listen, when it comes to graphic user interface, is there any company we want to be like? They will tell you immediately, it's no-brainer. It takes 1/10 of a second. They know who they want to be like. It might be Facebook, it might be eBay, it might be Google, I don't know. They have very clear idea of how they want to look like. Or let's say users of which application they want to be comfortable with their stuff. Let's say if people who spend lots of time on Facebook come to our website and we want them to be comfortable. So our policy might be to follow Facebook and not follow, I don't know, Google or this and that. I don't know. But that is where industry best practices, okay, industry best practices come together with policies of your employer. They become standards which you follow when it comes to graphic user interface. Guys, let me tell you, policy of your company could be don't report any bug unless there is a crash. Some companies are in survival mode. They don't care about how it looks like. They just care about getting another tranche of money, or they are out of business in 3 months. So it might be another policy, so they just don't care. International conventions, guys, we are lucky not to have international conventions on GUI. And Stanford University is a very nice place. They do nothing about it, so we don't have to learn it. I remember one lady, it was in our very first class here. We started in May of 2011, very first online class. And she was taking that class from Israel. And she was working already in QA, making like entry-level kind of money. And then she learned the GUI rules, and then she came back to her company management, and she said, guys, why don't we implement the US government standards? And they were so much amazed that they just, I mean, they would do it, they didn't know it exists. So, and then eventually she was making more money than developers in that company very soon. She is in US now. And we have another online student here from group number 3, and also from Israel. And he also moved to US. He won a green card lottery. So, and he's sitting just across me today. Okay, question number 2. Okay, define regression testing. Oh God, we have 82% saying same thing. Let me look. You are saying making sure that no new errors were introduced while making changes to the code. Okay, guys. Good. As I told you last time, it's not enough sometimes to come with the right definition. And one more thing, I mean, you have to beat the competition. So what if other people applying for same position are really good? So what would you do? And let me go somewhere, and you know where. So it's school forums to navigate. Yes. Okay, forums. And then I scroll down a little bit to the software QA testing interview questions. And then we go to the regression testing. Regression testing is probably #1 most frequently asked question. So guys, make sure you are good at that. And regression testing comes in, you remember we have 3 steps for answering interview questions. Let me open the document. I saved it yesterday, not yesterday, 2 days ago for you. Principles. Okay, it says here. We are in competitive situation. It's not enough to come with correct answer. And then we have 3 levels at which we provide that answer. We are saying, here is the definition of regression testing. Here are the details. And then you say, it's such and such project, that is how we did it. So we are not covering your project today, but we are saying, oh, I'm sorry. Where is it? Definition. Partial retesting of a modified program to make sure that no new errors were introduced while making changes to the code. So nothing got broken. That is the idea. Make sure that nothing got broken, because when people make changes to the code, there is a pretty good chance of breaking something down. So that is the idea of regression testing. What you should also understand, you cannot test anything unless there is a new release, new build. Because any change they make to the code, they submit that to the release engineer. Then the release engineer compiles all the new pieces together. And only after it is compiled in the new build, or sometimes we call it release, it depends on the company where you work. So both words are very common. And then they give it to you, not exactly for regression, because first time there should be release acceptance or build acceptance test done, which has many names. It could be done smoke test, for example. Doesn't matter. We make sure that release is good enough to be tested. Otherwise, it's not good enough to be tested. It will crash everywhere dramatically. So first it should pass the release acceptance, then it comes to you for regression. And so it should be done for each and every rebuild. And we do not have to test the whole thing. That is why we retest software. Retest partially. We are saying partial retesting. See, partial. Why partial? We would rather retest the whole thing. We just have no time. Partial retesting. It is next to release acceptance test, most frequently executed test, which makes it very good candidate for automation. Good. And then a couple of very common mistakes which people make. So don't ever run into that. Okay, let's move. So regression. We are good with regression. But it's not just, guys, making the correct choice. It's about being able to talk about it. And when it comes to your project, see how you do regression, what happens, how do you know what you should pay attention to, release notes, different things. It is coming in the project, and project will begin, I believe, in 2 weeks. We will start the project. I hear some typing here. How about looking at the responses under other category in this question? Okay, let's see. Where is other here? Skipped answer. I do not see other. Oh, other. Okay. Let's take a look. Graphic user interface standards and guidelines are established by Microsoft for Windows and by US government for web-based. Cool. And the last thing you want to do is to write anything in Russian. So, well, and learn to do that in English. So it's not like I'm making sure you understand the subject. The goal is to be able to pass an interview. It doesn't matter how good you are in understanding things, but if overall you cannot pass an interview, it's a failure. And well, so practice. I mean, I can give you a story. When I was a teenager, like 16 years old, and I was taking classes in martial arts, and specifically in Russia, in Soviet Union, there is a national brand called Samba, which is an abbreviation for self-defense without weapon. And the coach who was teaching that class, he was founder of that. He created that Samba, brand, and I was in his class. And during the World War II, he was coaching Army Scouts who will go across the front line, to bring officers, German officers, and so they can torture them. And he was teaching us weird stuff like what to do if someone comes to you with a knife, or different, subjects and objects. And then there was a boy, it was a peaceful time, it was 70s, early 70s, and there was a, modest Jewish boy. He says, "Guru, why do you teach us that stuff? I mean, it's a peaceful time. Why do we need to know what to do if someone comes with a knife?" And he says, and that is what I want you to understand. And he says, "I want you," he said, "to shit your pants here, okay? Not when Nazi comes to you with a knife." Okay? So that is what we are doing, guys. So we want you, literally, to shit your pants during the class, not at the time when you go to an interview and Nazi QA manager comes to you with a question, and then you don't know how to handle that question. So prepare right now. So whatever, amount of shit it takes, just say it in English, okay? That is kind of my observation. Why am I in that screen? Okay, let's go there again. So somehow I got out of that. Okay. Regression testing. Now, white box, what do you prefer? That question is not technical, guys. It says, what do you prefer? White box or black box? And it sounds kind of, not a big deal. But it is a big deal if you come with the wrong answer. Because if you come with the wrong answer, you are out of picture. That's it. That is the end of story. Why that? Let's say you're applying for a black box testing position. You do not have programming languages in your resume. You do not have development background. You have nothing which indicates your capabilities, in doing white box testing. Maybe there is more glory in doing white box testing. Maybe there is more glory in doing development. Maybe you're a glorious person and they ask you, would you like to do development? You say, yes, but you're not capable. True. So nobody wants unhappy people. See, if the position is black box position, and what you really want is white box testing, as a manager, I realize you're not going to be happy, you're not going to be excited, you're not going to be committed, you're not going to do much. Nobody wants unhappy people. So most likely, as soon as you find another position, you move. Okay. So it is a positioning question. Same as they would ask you, how come you did, I don't know, medical research, and now you are microbiology research, and now you are in QA. What happened? If you come with the wrong answer, that's it. It doesn't matter how much you know HTML or your test cases. If you are the wrong person, you are the wrong person. That is a very fundamental question, and they ask that a lot. So now we have multiple answers, and you are pretty good at that, by the way. So black box is a good answer. I mean, you want to be doing black box testing, but then the justification for that is kind of sad. You say, I cannot do anything else anyway. I would probably do something more glorious, but I'm miserable. So overall, saying black box, just black box is okay, but then that explanation makes it worse. Automated black box testing, guys. Automated is still black box, and they didn't ask you to choose between automated or manual. They said, okay, white box or black box. White box, I like to use programming languages. Okay, white box, it pays more money. We never mention money. Good, nobody says it. Black box is easier to do. Yeah, so I'm lazy. Black box, but I would like to get involved into white box testing as well. See what happens. People need room to grow. When manager takes you, manager thinks, okay, how can I keep him happy? In which direction that person wants to grow? Do I have an opportunity for him to grow in that direction? Or maybe I can offer another opportunity which that person will appreciate. So that is the question. So if they want you to move eventually into white box testing, and you say, oh, I'm open, that is a good match. They need someone who is open. Good. Good. Guys, you are... I'm just wondering how come you are coming with such good answers as a group. Others. Yes. Now we look at others. Okay, show responses. I am looking for a black box testing position. I'm open to a white box testing as well if needed. Okay, here is the problem. I'll give you another example. I talked to one graduate who does have experience, maybe a couple of years, and then he comes one day and he says, Michael, something is not working for me, and we start talking, and I'm asking him, okay, when they ask you what's your rate, what's your answer? He says, I'm telling them, if they want me to do automation, then I will charge $50. If they want me to do manual, I will charge 35. And I'm saying, wait a second, I mean, I really cannot understand that. If you can do something more skillful work which pays you $50 an hour, why in the world you would accept $35? And the worst thing is not 35 versus 50. The worst thing is one more year and nobody would ever consider you for automation anymore. With such a gap in automation, why in the world? It makes no sense whatsoever. That answer is close to that. So you're saying, if you want me to do white box, I'll do white box. If you want me to do black box, I will do black box. Listen, if you can do white box, why in the world you would accept black box position? In Silicon Valley, for example, if you can do white box, you might get like, I know people who are making 140, 150K a year doing white box testing. Why in the world you would go for 85K or anything like that? I mean, So that answer is not really as good as the one here. You want to grow into white box. Because here you are not saying you have to grow there. You're saying I can do it. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. So okay, keep going. So guys, it takes a couple of times circling around the bush and kind of beating around the bush, and then you get closer and closer and closer. So each next cycle you get closer and closer to the perfect answer. Doesn't have to happen the first time. What is quality? So we are saying that quality is a subjective matter, which is primarily about customer satisfaction. That is what makes it subjective. And if you are in quality business, let's say you're in quality control business or you're in quality assurance business, so then to you there is a perspective of requirements as well, which doesn't exist to customers. So customers just like it or don't like it. There is a very common misunderstanding among new testers. They think that if software is up to requirements, then people like it. Then it's a good software, high quality software. It is not true, because if you think about companies which went out of business, well-known companies getting out of business, it's not because their software is not up to the requirements. Let's say, I remember Netscape being #1 browser. Where is Netscape? What happened to their browser? Is it about not being up to requirements? No. When Facebook came, we did have Friendster, we did have MySpace, we did have few more. And how come, Facebook is #1 now? Is it about other web services not being up to their requirements? No. They could be even better in terms of quality compared to Facebook, which was a new company at that time. But you know what? It's about the requirements itself. So what I'm saying, software being up to the requirements doesn't make it quality software in the eyes of customers. It is a subjective matter which has nothing to do with requirements. I just want you to understand that. Two completely different matters, what people see and what you see. Okay? So as a professional person, you have to clearly understand both perspectives, so customer perspective and professional perspective. And you have to bring both to the interview, and then it makes you better than other candidates. So we discussed that it's not about correct answer, it's about answer which is better than the crowd comes with. So we are beating the crowd with 2. You are saying it depends. Guys, the more wisdom you acquire during your lifetime, the more often you start answering questions with it depends. Okay, it's just like a rabbi would say, it depends. Okay, it's a good question. Okay, I like it. So first of all, it depends on who the customer is. What do you mean customer? Are you talking about customer perspective? Or because each type of customer will have their own view on quality. Look, you have to say there are 2 perspectives. 2 perspectives, consumer perspective and professional QA perspective. And then you say, first, when we talk about consumer perspective, it depends who the customer is, and then it makes it subjective. You are missing the beginning of that story, okay? You started from the middle. For testers, it's how close we are to requirements. Look, testers are working with software. And the question is not what is software quality. It's a different question. The question is what is quality as a philosophical category. What is that? It's not about software. What about quality of a car you purchase? What about quality of apartment you rent? What about quality of jewelry you give to your wife for her birthday? Quality is much broader than software. So don't say testers. You can say for quality professionals or that kind. Quality is customer satisfaction and meeting the requirement. Again, I want full-featured answer because I want to know that when you come to an interview, you are able to come with a good answer. So far, you come with an idea of the answer. You understand? There are two perspectives: customer's perspective and meeting requirements, which is God knows whose perspective. And give me the full answer. You are saving on your typing. I don't know. It's not like you're saving money here. Just say it. Just give me the full answer so I know, yes. It is customer satisfaction on one hand, good, which is subjective term, and it is also how far and how close the product is, how far or how close, okay? How far or how close is to the requirement. Guys, that is the perfect definition. Sounds like I said it at some point. I'm not sure. Subjective term. Customers have different views on quality. For SQA, not SQA. There is no software QA in that question. We are beyond software, far beyond. It's much bug-free, within budget and maintainable. Okay, guys. Now we have to go back a little bit. When we go to the answers we gave you to learn, okay, and when it comes to software quality, it says customer satisfaction, measurement of how close it is, blah, 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 and then it says quality software. Look at the order of work. Software quality has different order of work than quality software. Okay, so I intentionally put it there so you pay attention to the difference between software quality and quality software. If you talk, what does it mean, quality software? It means not just bugs free. It is not just bugs free, but it is delivered on time. Well, I mean, if you deliver it 3 months after, it's not that much of a quality. Within the budget, if I spend 3 times more money, it's not that much quality anymore. It meets requirements and expectations and is maintainable. That is an explanation of what is quality software. Okay, has nothing to do with the question here. Be careful. Bug-free, within budget, maintainable, it's a totally different question. If they ever ask you what is quality software, then you talk about bug-free, within budget, maintainable, delivered on time, and so on. Okay, good. It's good we actually had a chance to run into that. Subjective terms. Okay, so we know what it is now. Developers test their code. What software testers are needed for? Yeah, really, why? Show responses. Let's see. Developers do mostly positive testing, which is true. Their focus is to make sure that application provides what it should provide if users do the right thing. But testers can do positive as well as negative. We are supposed to do positive and negative. If testers do not do negative, guys, nobody does negative. That is pretty much the situation. Developers might do negative too, but guys, we do not have enough developers. They are stressed. When you eventually get into a software company, you will see how much they are stressed. And some of you maybe are married to developers, and then you say, "Hi, honey," and he looks through you and he says, "Who are you?" I'm joking, but they are stressed, guys. They are stressed. And you cannot ask them to do negative and this and this. I mean, we are happy if they can do at least some positive. Okay? Some positive. And that is number one. But it is not the whole thing yet. So positive testing is very important. Actually, we do have it on our forum somewhere. Okay, let me see where it is. I've seen it there. Probably on the next page, no? Yeah, why software testers are needed if developers test their code anyway? What are we saying there? Testers do most of the negative, good. Testers do most of the regression. Guys, imagine each and every time they give us a release, they broke something. It's not they might break something. They did break things. For sure. If you cannot find them, it's your problem. But they did break things. I can guarantee you. Developers cannot do all the regressions. If they do regressions, they won't be able to develop anything. So negative testing, number one. Regression testing, number two, which is huge, okay, is done by testers. And testers test software at system level. That is what what I wanted to tell you. We have group of developers. Developers are developing their units of code. Let's say as a developer, I have 3 units to develop. Another developer has 5 units to develop. Another developer has 3 units to develop. In QA, you test the application from user perspective, and user doesn't care which units are there or who develops what. So as a tester, you are having much broader picture of the application you test. Developer might not even know that many things, and developer doesn't care that much about system level. Developer is responsible for his part of the coding. So we might find, and we will find, problems which developer is not capable of finding. That is the point. So we have that answer for you, and I just want you to understand what it is. So then that is why we refer to that forum again. And also I want to show you guys what we have on that forum is must. Okay, it answers all the questions you need to know. We are all human beings. Thanks God. Oh yeah, starting with no, yeah, we are human beings, and everybody makes mistakes. Yes, testers are last step before release. Testers are last step before release. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I agree about all of us being human beings, but which means all of us are making mistakes, testers and developers, and but it doesn't answer the question of why do we need testers. Developers are also human beings, so what? Developers do positive and testers do positive and negative. They know the product better, okay, and you missed the regression here. Usually developers do positive, they don't have much time. Guys, you are missing the regression. They have common things in their requirements, but developers mostly use positive, testers use positive, negative, and many other types of testing. What do you mean many others? If you want to say regression, tell me regression. What do you mean many others? Test humans. We are humans. We are doing many other things. We smoke. We go to lunch. We schmooze. Better software testing. Okay. Okay, guys. So we know what to say. What is gray box testing? It's a good thing. If you go to Wikipedia, so last time I did go there, it was coming with a dead wrong answer actually. It was saying gray box is a combination of black and white. It's like if I ask you what is pink wine, well, pink wine, it's a combination of, it's a mix of red wine and white wine. No, not really. It's a completely different technologically product. So it is not a combination. It is an extension of black box testing. But when you say extension of black box testing, I have no idea what kind of extension it is, what makes it white box testing. If it is a part of black box, so why do we call it differently? So deep black box testing. So I can put chips into that. What's a deep black box testing? Doing testing with some knowledge of the internal details of the program. It's better. Internal details. Box is not totally black, it's gray, means there is some knowledge has been added. Guys, we have much better definitions than that. What do you mean? Do we have it here, white box? Yeah. No, gray box. Oh, okay. Let me replace 1 with 4 here. Let's see. No? Uh-huh. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me go to some place here. Portnow.com. Portnow.com/data. Okay, that is a password protected area. I will give you access, guys, when after session number 3, when you become students and pay tuition and all that stuff. So I will give you access there. QA. I believe it is other. Okay, let's see. Other regression, stress. do we have it? Not here. Wait a second. It's not here. Gray. Oh yeah, it's here. Gray box testing. I'm sorry. Gray box testing is using structural, design, and environment information, complete or incomplete, to expand or focus black box testing, to expand or focus and to enhance testing productivity by using appropriate methods and tools. For example, let's say you test web application, and then let's say you are testing Amazon.com, and one of your test cases is to purchase a book, specific book. So you log in, you purchase that book, and then you have a couple of servers in the back end, and each server has its own log files, and log files keep track of what happened. So after you purchase that book, you have to go to web server log files, you have to go to application server log files, and you have to go to database server log files, and you have to find certain strings in those files. So is it done from user perspective? No. Does it require access to the source code, which makes it white box testing? No. What kind of testing is that? It's an extension of black box. Now you know the structure. You know it is a 3-tier application. We will talk in more details about that when it comes to web application testing session, normally session number 10. So, and you look at that and you say, so we have 3 log files, and log file on web server should have such and such string written there. Log file on application server should have such and such string. And now the question is, how do you find out? Either you write a routine, let's say script, using, I don't know, JavaScript, C#, Perl, whatever language you like to use, and then you parse that log file, or you have another tool which allows you just to go, maybe you open that file in Notepad or any other editor, and then you search for the string. So, but what I'm saying, that is an example of gray box testing. It is an extension of black box testing. You still have no access to source code, but you are using tools. Guys, using appropriate methods and tools to expand or focus black box testing, okay? And you are using what? Structural information, design information, environment information. Environment could be information about browsers and servers and operating systems and platforms, or maybe mobile devices, different details, that kind. Okay, that is gray box testing. So when I look at your answers, I want to see things like extension of black box testing, which requires usage of appropriate methods and tools. But when you are saying go deeper to framework, I don't know why you mentioned framework. Do you know what's framework? Type of testing where tester partially use test code while testing. What does it mean, use test code? He has limited access to software structure. It's a combination of black. It is not a combination of black and white. Anytime you run into source code, it becomes white box testing. There is no black or gray box testing which gives you access to the source code. You get to source code. Okay, it's white box testing from now on. Using structural design environment information to expand. That is the copy paste from our source. And as I told you guys, we don't want you to copy and paste anything, because when you go to an interview, you can copy paste only from your brain. So, and since brain doesn't allow you to copy paste that easily, so maybe you have to find the way to do it. White box and black box together. So left hand you do black box and right hand you do white box. Advanced skill between white and black. Extension of black box to go beyond the graphic user interface. Okay, keep going. 7. What are the common stages of software development life cycle? God. It depends on the company where you work. Normally, when it comes to that, I'm saying, let's go to Google, and let's say SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle, and let's go to images. So guys, they show you different pictures, different models. Look how different. And some are very, very short. Let's say that one, 5 stages. Starts with what? Planning, analysis, design, implementation, maintenance. Good. Okay, what is this one? How many? 5. Assess needs, design specification, design, develop, test, so implementation. No, okay. Implement. There, under implementation, they mean you install it and you teach users and support operations, evaluate performance. Slightly different. Guys, why is it slightly different? Because companies are different. Their cycles are different. Look at this one. Requirements, analysis, design, coding, testing, acceptance. Oh God. What's acceptance? I don't know. Well, they say acceptance. That is how they do it. Oh, look at that one. Oh, yeah, look at that one. Look at that one. So initiation, system concept development, planning, requirements, that is huge organization, I can tell. It's like social security and administration. Requirements analysis, design, development, integration and test, implementation, operation and maintenance, disposition. Guys, sometimes you have to plan for how to get rid of it. It's not like how you get rid of Microsoft Word on your system, you just uninstall it. So those are different ideas of software development lifecycle. So you come with something relatively simple. Planning, good. Design, good. So design is, in other words, for architecture. Planning, design, well, instead of planning, I would say requirements. Design, coding, testing, post-release. I don't know what's post-release. Planning, analysis, design, development, testing, release, maintenance. Analysis. Okay. 4 common stages. Requirements, good. Design, develop. Well, design and development are different stages. Design is done by architect and development is done by developers. That's slightly different. Separated in time. Testing, deployment. We might not have any deployment, really. What do you mean deployment? Lots of companies have no deployment. And then if you say 4 common stages, you do not come with 5. I mean, if you say 4, you give me 4. Requirements, design, coding, testing, maintenance. Guys, that is brilliant, really. Very clear. Requirements, yes. You can say planning and analysis instead of requirement. But as the result of planning and analysis, you have requirements. Design is based on the requirements. You do the architecture, the architect does, and then and he says, okay, we've got 25 units doing different things. So and then we distribute those units in between developers. So now we do coding. Going back to the way we tell you to do that, we have that element analysis, specification, architecture, implementation. You can use this one if you wish. But the one we just looked at here, I would use this one. It's so simple and so straightforward. And the less components you have, guys, the less questions they might ask you. Okay? So don't give them an opportunity to ask you more questions. Good. Very good. And also, it's important, when they ask you, what is software development lifecycle, you tell them it is a conceptual model used in project management. That is the idea. So they have now stages, they have deliverables, they have budgets, they have something, how they control you. It's a management issue. It's a management concept. What is that concept? They describe software development process in stages, because stages are convenient to management. That's it. Guys, and it's important for management to run it conveniently, because managing projects is very important. Typical problems in software requirements are Actually, we have it here. I just, it's right here. It says incomplete, ambiguous, or contradictory requirements. Incomplete, ambiguous, or contradictory requirements are recognized by skilled, experienced software engineers. Incomplete, ambiguous, or contradictory. Ambiguous, incomplete, contradictory. So all three are kind of recognized by you, but not up to the full extent. Duplicate. I don't know why we do not have 100% here. And 5 people skipped. So guys, why do you freak out? I mean, what's the reason? Just look at the list of questions and answers and it's given to you. And why would you skip? Who is a better tester? Okay. The one who submits more bugs, or the one who has more bugs fixed? The one who has more bugs fixed has more impact on software quality. So if you write bug reports which nobody is fixing, it means you have a problem. And I would say in a longer term, the problem is they're going to let you go. They pay you money with little impact on the product. So you write bugs which nobody is going to fix. I mean, so you are not focused, you are not productive, you are basically a very good candidate to be kicked out. You want bugs to be fixed. The reason to write a bug report, guys, the single reason to write a bug report is to have it fixed. If you know it's not going to be fixed, you would never report it. It's not about showing you how good you are as a tester. You write bug report and they don't even fix them because they're bad developers. No, because your bug reports are not worth fixing. Okay. Who is? Some people say I am. Show responses. We have 2 more. Creative and passionate probably. Person who can find bugs where other testers fail to find. But what is the question? The question is, who is better tester? We give you choices, but you are saying it is someone who is creative and passionate, who can find bugs where others fail to find. I would say that is a very subjective approach. So you might say, I am creative. You might say, I am passionate. You might say, they are all stupid. They are all lazy. The bugs they find are crap, and the only bugs which are valuable is what I find. So, I mean, that is the approach which eventually might bring you there. Stay away from passionate and that kind of thing. If you are passionate, so you find more bugs, you are more focused, so it will result in more bugs to be fixed. If you are passionate. And if you find bugs where other testers fail to find those bugs, you will have more bugs fixed because you find good bugs. If you find bugs which other testers fail to find and nobody wants to fix them anyway, I mean, what's the value? I do not think anybody really is better than other. Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Definitely some people, I'll give you an example. We had a gentleman here who, we sent him for an internship for 3 months. And then after 3 months, so we talked to manager, QA manager, asking, so how was he doing? And he said, manager says, he found 1 bug over 3 months. Because we have relationships with companies and managers and whatever, they might keep you. Lots of managers will kick him out in a week. So definitely some testers are better. It might be about passion, it might be about hard work, it might be about this and that, I don't know why. And the guy looked very normal. Well, let me tell you, he didn't look like a problematic guy. But that is what he did. So what I'm saying, definitely some people are better. It doesn't mean if someone who is real bad and you tell him you are real bad, he will agree with you. But who cares? People who evaluate him, people who hire and people who fire and people who promote, they definitely tell you who is better tester. I mean, no doubt about it. So, okay, keep going. Guys, it's good we have all those kind of special opinions because it gives us more perspectives to judge, you know, to consider. It's good. So I really encourage you to do that, but it's okay. Don't kind of say I'm too harsh to you. I'm maybe kind of aggressive in the way I'm talking about, guys. You can imagine how I enjoy your contribution here, because it gives me an opportunity to talk. Listen, if you say nothing, how can I tell you what's good and what's not good? Okay, monkey testing. So ad hoc. Ad hoc. Random use of software functionality. It is not true. Simultaneously planning and executing. Okay, guys, let me write it for you. Okay. There are three components in what we call ad hoc. So it's called exploratory testing. Exploratory testing. Ad hoc is a subset of exploratory. So there are three components here. One component is planning. You are saying, why don't I try this? Okay, that is planning. Then second, you think for a while, what am I going to try? This. Then you execute. You just do it. And then stage 3, you learn. The whole idea of planning, okay, let's be in the executing, learning, okay. The whole idea of exploratory testing is to get better, understanding of the product. So you say, okay, what if I try this? Then you do it and say, and the loop begins again. You say, okay, let's do this now. And that is how we learn. Ad hoc testing, you know what, let me copy and paste. Ad hoc, okay, executing, learning, okay. Ad hoc is pretty much the same, but there is no time really in between planning, executing, and learning. All three are happening at the same time. That is why it looks like monkey testing, because monkey cannot plan and monkey cannot learn. Monkey is just an execution business. There is a big article on the distinction between exploratory testing and ad hoc testing, a well-known article where the guy explains why it's different. It's not monkey. Even though there is no time allocated for planning, executing, and learning, kind of look like everything happens at the same time, still we are doing that as human beings. We are planning, we are executing, we are learning, but we just do it at the same time. So that is the idea of ad hoc testing. Simplified form of exploratory, it's true. It is true, it is a simplified form. Why it is simplified? Because we do everything at once. I authorized today, guys, over 20 people to use the forum here, and on the forum we have online part. See, online. If you go to online, you will see students, means you guys, discussing different things. For example, bug reports of Tole website. Look at that. So last time it was done on September 19th. That is pretty much where we expect you to come up with bug reports. So you did the Tole, write it there. You can definitely read what other people wrote before you, but that is where you do it. If you go to session 3, which is next session, and we do have it Monday next week, resume builder. So, and you have problems with you find in resume builder, write it here. So guys, that is where I grab that stuff for future sessions. So I go through the bugs you report, and we have actually more than one on Tole. Probably we have more than one on resume builder. We have Orange HRM bug reports. We have Energy Telecom, another project we have. So look at that. Lots of people, before you joined the class, lots of people did certain things. And also, U-test. I told you last time, is it here? No, I didn't. guys, I'm not sure if I told you about UTest, but just in case if I didn't. So you go to UTest. It is must. It is not optional. You go to utest.com and register and study. They have videos explaining how they work, but we have here UTest related. Look at that. On the very first page, there is a gentleman who comes up with a good explanation of how to be successful on UTest. Look at that. Okay, that one. Just be successful on UTest. At the end of our course, I expect you to have like at least 10, maybe 15, maybe 20 projects completed. That is what will make your resume unique resume. You don't want to be like incubator people. Okay. If you really want to get a job, do it. That is the most effective thing which will happen to you, because it will bring together what we learn, okay, and how the industry works, and then it will make you a real world tester rather than academic, online trained tester. So coming back to our homework, let me see where we are. Yes. So we're going to be in session number 3 next time. So, and you've watched 2 videos here about Resume Builder, and it explains, right here you can download it. It doesn't require any installation. You just unzip the files and you can use them. And then you test for graphic user interface, you report bugs, and then and then we will meet Monday and discuss all those issues. So my job next Monday will be primarily talking about bug reporting. So we will write lots of bug reports. To be exact, I will take your bug reports and I will correct them to be kind of industry quality bug reports. So it will be giving you an idea in which direction you have to adjust your writing style. Let me look at the Skype because I hear sounds of people writing something. Okay. Could you please send me link to join the class? Okay. Somehow, guys, I don't know how it happens, but sometimes when I send the link to the group, some people do not get it right away. I don't know. So Elizabeth says, okay. So I'm sorry, guys, if it happens. If you do not get the link on time, just write to the group or write to me personally. I will copy for you. It happens. I've seen it happening. No permission to write in the forums. Yes, you have to register, and then I will approve your registration, and then you can write. My email wasn't accepted to submit registration. It's true. Your email cannot be coming from .ru domain zone, because 99% of what comes from .ru is spam. So you just need the Gmail account, and that's it. It will take you. .ru is going to be rejected. Where to go? Want us submit the bug report? I told you, you do that on the forum, and we have chapters there. In the online sub-forum of the forum, I had Gmail. If it didn't work with Gmail, so there is one more thing to do there, which is you have to provide correct answer to the question, and that answer is, I believe it's 4970 El Camino. It is, so it was given in, just a second. It is given in homework assignment number 2. Here, yeah, it says here, 4970 El Camino is the answer to the question, so then it should let you in. And you might say it didn't work for you, but it did work for 21 people I just approved today. So, I don't know. You might consult with the group. Guys, talking to the group and asking questions is really what we want you to do. Okay? Okay, and okay, so let me get off the record.